Buckle up for a wild ride through NASCAR's most intense moments of blocking, near crashes, and dangerous collisions. Join us as we revisit the heart-stopping action and explore the high-stakes world of car racing. Number 1. Carl Edwards' final lap flip, Talladega, April 2009. The final lap of this race has been ingrained in the minds of NASCAR fans over the past many seasons. On the final lap of the spring event at Talladega, leader Carl Edwards attempts to block Brad Keselowski from pulling off a huge upset by winning his first Sprint Cup race in just his 5th career start. The key word being attempts. Keselowski tries to make the pass by using the bottom groove to sneak under a closing Edwards, accidentally sending the number 99 Ford soaring in the process. Edwards came away unscathed and walked across the finish line.
Up in the air, Brad Keselowski comes by. He'll score the win in the Aaron's 499.
Number 2. Brad Keselowski flips, Atlanta, March 2010. In a clear act of retaliation, both for the Talladega race and an incident between the two earlier in the race, Edwards intentionally took out Keselowski in the late stages of the March 2010 race at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Much like Edwards in the Talladega race, Keselowski is sent flying.
Just slight contact. Look at that thing go.
Ending his chances of earning his first top 10 as driver of the number 12 Dodge for Penske Racing. Obviously, this could have been much worse. Number 3. Steve Grissom's hard impact, Atlanta, March 1997. This is one of those crashes that must be seen to be believed. The impact by which Steve Grissom, driving the number 41 Chevy for Larry Hedrick Motorsports at this point, hits the inside retaining wall, causing the rear of the car to essentially disintegrate and the gas tank to explode away from the machine. A former Nationwide Series champion, Grissom came away unscathed from this incident. Number 4. Elliott Sadler slammed, Pocono, August 2010. Sadler hits the inside barrier so hard that the engine is removed from his number 19 Dodge. The camera angles provided by the worldwide leader in sports are poor in this case, so you'll have to look closely to see how hard Sadler's crash was. Once again, Sadler walked away. Number 5. Destruction, Pocono, July 2002. After a lengthy rain delay pushed the start of the Pennsylvania 500 back 3 hours, this Lap 3 incident between Dale Earnhardt Inc. teammates Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Steve Park would cause a 1-hour delay to repair a bent guardrail from the incident.
Over on his lid, it's Park and Dale Jr. Jr.'s running to...
Luckily for both drivers, and especially for Park, whose career would never be the same after a brutal wreck at a nationwide race in Darlington 1 year before nearly killed him. No injuries were suffered. Number 6. Steve Park slams into pit wall, Atlanta, March 1998. Atlanta, and Steve Park, makes another appearance on this list, this time in a 1998 practice crash at the 1.5-mile speedway.
My rookie year, punctured a tire.
After slamming into the Turn 4 wall, Park is sent careening into the pit road wall, with the impact causing him to shatter a femur in the process. While Park's injuries kept him out of action for most of his rookie season, he came away relatively unscathed compared to other injuries he would suffer throughout his NASCAR career. Number 7. Dale Earnhardt's Daytona 500 flip, Daytona, February 1997. 1 year before his historic victory in the Great American Race, Earnhardt was sent flying in this incident.
Well, jump from the back straightaway. Dale Earnhardt is into the wall. Looked as though he was tapped by Dale Jarrett coming off the course.
Earnhardt not only came out of this incident unscathed, he also finished the race because the car was still drivable. Number 8. Bill Elliott and Dale Earnhardt on their sides, Talladega, April 1998. The amazing thing about this incident is the fact that Earnhardt and Elliott were both on their sides and still collided into each other for an extended period of time.
In the side of Earnhardt, just touches him. Elliott in there on the roof, sliding across. You see Chad Little going down.
Despite all of the flames and on-track carnage, the only injury suffered was a singed mustache by Earnhardt. Number 9. Bobby Labonte goes flying, Talladega, October 2001. Bobby Labonte went from battling in the lead pack at Talladega to flipping over in the big one.
Contact! Bobby Labonte's over! It's the big wreck on the final lap!
avoiding injury despite violent impact. Note that they still raced back to the flag at this point. Number 10. Jeff Gordon is unlucky in Vegas, Las Vegas, March 2008. Jeff Gordon suffered one of the worst impacts recorded in NASCAR history in the late stages of the March 2008 race at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Jeff's in the inside wall, hard into the wall. Caution will wave, the field is frozen.
Thanks to advances in safety since the 2001 death of Dale Earnhardt, Gordon walked away unscathed. Number 11. Michael McDowell goes airborne, Texas, April 2008. We can thank Michael McDowell for making qualifying interesting for possibly the only time in NASCAR history. This crash is also the reason that many fans even know who Michael McDowell is.
Whoa, guys, whoa. Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. I have never seen anything like that in my life.
In a testament to the safety improvements NASCAR has made, McDowell walked away from this amazing wreck with a wave to the fans, if not a smile on his face. Number 12. Caney, Jeff Gordon, and Hornish Jr. run out of room, Watkins Glen, August 2009. No serious injuries here, but notice the monotone delivery of ESPN's Jerry Punch.
We saw this happen with Jason Leffler's car the other day, get thrown back, and Jeff Gordon's wide open, nowhere to go.
Describing the incident to viewers. Good thing he's back on pit road. Number 13. Jimmy Johnson makes monster mile save, Dover, June 2006. Instead of saving himself from injury, Jimmy Johnson made an incredible move to keep the number 48 Chevy from any damage during qualifying for a 2008 race at Dover.
This is ugly. Off the wall, keep it off the wall.
That is amazing. You can't.
Number 14. Jamie McMurray goes drifting, Las Vegas, March 2009. Notice how long McMurray kept the number 26 Roush Fenway Racing Ford from spinning. He went sideways for an entire turn in an impressive move. Number 15. Richard Petty, 1980 Pocono. This crash would undoubtedly look worse if the video wasn't in slow motion, but it suffices to say that the impact was hard enough that Richard Petty nearly broke his neck. In order to continue racing, he chose not to inform NASCAR about the injury. Officials didn't find out until weeks later. Petty would win only 8 more races in his career following this crash. Some speculate that this was the beginning of the end for him as a top-level driver. Number 16. Bobby Allison, 1987, Talladega. The high speeds at Talladega Superspeedway have long been infamous for contributing to the danger of flying cars. Bobby Allison's 1987 wreck prompted NASCAR to install catch fences to improve fan safety.
Bobby Allison with a horrible crash here on the front stretch. It has torn out a...
The video shows how little of the fence and of his car remained after Allison's tore through it at nearly 200 miles per hour. Unfortunately, this did not help the fate of drivers such as Carl Edwards, whose car was shredded after being launched into the catch fence. But that video will come later. Number 17. Michael Waltrip, 1990, Bristol, Busch Series. After watching the clip, and you may think, there's no way a human being could survive that crash.
Michael Waltrip's car begins to slip and slide on the outside and contacts the concrete wall nearly head-on. The car is sawed in half by that concrete barrier there.
Waltrip hits the wall head-on in one of the hardest hits in NASCAR history. His car explodes into hundreds of pieces, and it seems impossible that Waltrip could have survived in the wreckage. Waltrip not only survived, but he went on to win 2 Daytona 500s and start his own race team. Number 18. Rusty Wallace, 1993 Talladega. In a cringe-worthy crash at Talladega Superspeedway, Rusty Wallace endured one of the worst crashes of his career.
Trouble behind Rusty Wallace is turning over.
Rusty Wallace, 20 feet in the air, spinning, crashing.
Little was left of his racing machine following his barrel rolls through the Talladega infield. Wallace suffered a broken wrist in the crash. In fact, Wallace had suffered a similar wreck just 2 months earlier at Daytona. Without these 2 bone-jarring incidents, Wallace likely would have won the season title, which he lost by only 80 points to Dale Earnhardt. Number 19. Dale Earnhardt, 1996, Talladega. Dale Earnhardt was a master of Talladega. winning Cup races at the track a record 10 times. But even he was not immune to the carnage that all too often strikes at the superspeedway. In a crash that appears eerily similar to his fatal crash at Daytona in 2001, Dale Earnhardt gets the short end of the stick at this 1996 Talladega race.
Terrible crash. Front of the field, all torn up.
Earnhardt was visibly shaken as he was helped from his torn-up race car following the crash. Number 20. Jeff Bodine, 2000 Daytona Truck Series. This crash is one of the most shocking in NASCAR history. It's incredible that Jeff Bodine survived being thrown into the fence, 2 fireballs, and multiple hits at one of NASCAR's fastest tracks.
Contact, Morgan into Busch, now trucks crashing along the outside wall, one truck spinning and crashing and tumbling from the tri-oval down towards turn number 1, upside down, flames shooting from the machine as it's hit by another machine as a nasty crash in traffic in the tri-oval has put us on.
Many observers feared that Bodine had been killed. There was almost nothing left of his truck when all was said and done, but thankfully Bodine lived to race another day. Number 21. Carlos Pardo, 2009. NASCAR crash death in Mexico. This horrifying crash shows just how dangerous tracks can be without modern safety precautions.
Y va a haber bandera blanca. ¡Ahí le pegan a Carlos Pardo! No, qué golpe. ¡Qué golpe! Eso no se vale. Eso no.
Pardo's car literally disintegrated when it barreled headlong into the exposed end of the inside wall. Pardo actually won this race since he was leading at the time of the crash, and the race was called following his death. I guess this is the best way to go if you're a racer.